during the escrow, this is a normal escrow process, the same way as if you would have sold your home even without a short sale. There's going to be lots and lots of paperwork. You're going to pack up, leave it tidy. The buyer's going to do his inspections. You're still going to give all disclosures as to what you know about the house, any insurance claims, etc. So all of that paperwork is still in play. Now, when you're ready to move out, I'm going to expect you to leave the property clean, leave any documents, home warranties, etc. on appliances in the home, leave the keys and garage door openers. If there's one thing that everybody is really not appreciating in this industry, and I'm sure you can understand this, it's the sellers who are somehow angry at the world, and when they leave their house, they leave it a mess. I'm talking holes in the wall, ripping out appliances. That's simply not acceptable. So I need you to be prepared for the fact that you're going to leave it just as if you were leaving a regular sale, because it is. The only thing we needed was the bank's acceptance. Everything else remains the same. Now I want to talk to you about the legalities of the bank process. The bank, if you miss a few payments, you are likely to get what's called an NOD, or Notice of Default. This is a formal document that's recorded, and basically the bank is stating that you've missed enough payments, we are now going to put you in the foreclosure process. Once you receive that NOD, I need to know immediately. That starts a clock ticking. It's about 3 months, or I'm sorry, it's exactly 3 months and 3 weeks from that point that the bank can formally take your home. So we want to make sure that before you get the NOD that we're well established on our short sale. Please don't wait till you've missed 6, 7 payments, gotten an NOD, and then call me and expect me to work miracles. It's very tough from that point. So if you're considering a short sale, call me early on and let me get in and advise and help you. Excuse me. Once you've received the NOD, however, please don't think that, oh my gosh, 3 months and 3 weeks I have to be out of my home. That's really not the case. The bank can extend it if they so choose. So if we're moving along fine, if we're in escrow, the bank will in fact delay the trustee sale on the home. I've seen it come down to the wire time and time again. But their obligation and what they're trying to do is really close up the short sale. They're just very far behind. And so they don't respond always as quickly as we would like. Now the thing I need to talk to you about is a second lender. A lot of you have a second lien holder. This can be a little bit more difficult because both the first has to agree and the second lender has also to agree. Now, the second lender will typically be given by the first lender anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to release the lien so the short sale can go through. The second lender does not have to agree to that at all, but typically they try to accommodate, and they will go ahead and release the lien for a certain amount of money that the first will pay them. That is if the first doesn't have enough money to pay off and there's no extra to pay the second. What I'm seeing more and more, however, is that the second says, I will agree to get, let's say, $3,000 from the first, but I also want the seller to sign a promissory note. Now this note can be, recently they asked for 10% of what the balance was. The seller owed $40,000 to the second, and they said, fine, we'll release it as long as we can get $3,000 from the first, and the seller signs a note for $4,000 payable over the next 10 years with an interest rate. Now, I don't think that's a lot to ask, and that's probably a really fair trade to get out from under the home itself. So you may consider that should they ask for a promissory note. Now, the good news in all of this is I've been doing short sales since they started in San Diego County. I've had 3 sellers that I've contacted recently because my lender suggested that the lending requirements have lifted a little bit. So the good news is all 3 of them are actually going through the process of being qualified to repurchase homes. Now, these are people who have paid off their credit cards since their short sale in the last year. They've been very responsible, and other than the few lates on their credit, they have taken great pains to clean up their credit and save money for a new down payment. So they are actually in the process of requalifying. So a short sale doesn't last forever. The bank is in control, however, so you have to understand that we want to do whatever it takes that the bank needs to agree and accept to the short sale. But if the bank agrees, you need to make sure, the final thing, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, but I do want to finish this out. It is absolutely critical that you work with an agent who knows exactly what they're doing, who has experience in this process, so I want you to call me. My information is on the bottom of the screen, but the most important thing you need to remember is that each short sale is different. The banks do not have to agree. They're in full control all the way through to the end, and we need to do whatever it takes to get this sale closed, because in my opinion and in my experience, but I can't speak for the whole industry, a short sales ding on your credit is so much more advantageous than should you get a full foreclosure or a bankruptcy. So give me a call today if you have any concerns at all. Let's discuss this in person, and I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thanks for listening.